Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Ditch Decade Diets podcast. I am your host, Lorna, certified food freedom coach and founder of the Ditch Decade Diets Academy. I've spent 10 years in an unhealthy relationship with food, binge eating, over-exercising, and feeling insecure in my body. This podcast is all about helping you get to the root of your food struggles and teaching you how to rewire your brain so you can end binge eating. If you're ready to improve your relationship with food and cultivate more self-love towards yourself and your health, this is the podcast for you. So let's get to it and jump right in. You have an incredible relationship. You have a successful career. You have an amazing family. And now you're ready to make conquering binge eating another success in your life. You know that binge eating is not about more motivation because you are such an incredibly motivated person. This is why you have a great life and you are successful in so many areas of your life, but you know that motivation is not what you need to conquer binge eating. Binge eating requires you to rewire your brain out of the diet binge cycle. And you know that since you've spent years dieting, you just don't know the proper tools yet, right? You don't know what specifically to do to stop your binge eating because you know that what you did when you were dieting is not the same thing that you need to do when conquering binge eating. But here is exactly why I know that you are somebody who is going to conquer binge eating. You are somebody who doesn't settle. You go for what you want. You get what you want. You are extremely integral with your word. When you say you're going to do something, you do it time and time and time and time again. You know the value of getting support from somebody who is where you want to be. And you've always prioritized it in your life. You've always strived to be the best version of yourself. You've always gotten mentored by other people who are where you want to be because you want extraordinary results in your life. And if you're anything like me, you've always known that you are different than most people in the best way possible. Like I remember growing up and I always felt different than other people. Like I never drank. I never went to parties. Like I always kind of felt like the outlier, but in a really good way. Like I was, I think I was like 16, 17 years old. And I became a yoga instructor. I was it was the youngest yoga instructor ever. I got certified as an insanity instructor. I became a Beachbody coach when I was in university. There were so many things that I did at such a young age. And I always just knew that I was different in the best way. You know, people always tell me you're so mature for your age or you're going to do great things in your life. And I'll never forget one of my uncles said you're going to go far in life. And obviously at the time, I didn't really know what that meant, but I knew that I was going to live an extraordinary life. And you probably feel this way too, right? You've known ever since you were little, you were going to live a great life. And you are living a great life right now. You are ambitious. You've always had big goals. You've always been somebody who, dreamt big. You are successful. And even if right now you don't know how to stop binge eating, deep down you know that you will conquer binge eating because it's just who you are. It's just who you are. You've been successful in so many other areas of your life that you know that this is just going to be another success. You are living an amazing life. And you know that when you're no longer thinking about food, you're no longer spending so much time and energy and effort binging, your life is about to get even more extraordinary. When I was binging in 2018, I lived a good life. I share this a lot, but my relationship with Andrew has always been incredible. We've always had an amazing relationship. I was successful in my career. Like I said, I've always had, goals and these ambitions. I've always had a great career. I had my own business. I always done well in school. I was successful, right? And you are successful as well too. And you might be like wondering, like, okay, like I'm successful in so many areas of your life. Like now it's time to conquer binge eating. And the success that you've already accomplished in your life is literally proof. It's exactly why you're going to conquer binge eating, because like I said, it's who you are. You are somebody who's dedicated. You are determined. You're a hard worker. You're a badass. You're an action taker. You're not afraid of putting in the work. You know that work is required to stop binge eating. And you're not afraid of that. You're just like, okay, just tell me what to do and I'm going to do that. You're not afraid to put in the work. You know that freedom's on the other side. You know you're ready for that. And you're like, I just need to know what to do because I'm willing to put in the work. I'm willing to learn the different tools. I'm willing to spend time, effort, and energy towards healing my relationship with food. You love the process of showing yourself that you can overcome anything because you've done it in other areas of your life time and time and time again. You prove to yourself that when you say you're going to do something, you do it. And ending binge eating is no different. You're successful in your career. You're successful in your relationship. You're successful in your family life. And this is just going to be another success in your life because it's who you are. You've always known that you were and still are a very special person. You are determined, you are dedicated, you go for what you want. You're not somebody who like waits around and like hopes that things happen. You go out and make shit happen. You went out and you worked hard to have the successful career that you do. You worked hard to have the family life that you do. You worked hard to have an amazing relationship. So when it comes to ending binge eating, you get the proper support. You put in the work, right? You show up for yourself. You get to spend the rest of your life having complete freedom with food while enjoying the success that you've created in your life that much more. Like I said, in 2018, I had a great relationship, but I knew that when I conquered binge eating, my relationship would be even better. Like I had a great relationship, but of course, when you're binging and you're feeling bloated and going out for dinner takes like 25 years to decide like what restaurant to go to, like it does impact your relationship. Even though things were going well in my relationship, I'm like, I want to be free. I had my own business. Things were going well with my career. But I knew that if I conquered binge eating, like things would just be even greater. My family life was amazing. I've had a great relationship with my entire family. But there would be times where I would be snappy with my mom. There'd be times where I'd be irritable. Even with Andrew, I'd be snappy or I'd be irritable, especially like when my mom would like bake something and I'm like, oh, why did you have to bake it? Especially if I like would spiral into a binge, I would get mad at my mom for like baking or cooking a crock pot recipe. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what the macros are. Like little things like that. My family life was good, but I didn't want to be snappy. I wanted an even better relationship with my family. I wanted an even better relationship with my partner. I wanted to be even more successful in my career. I've always been somebody who doesn't settle. And I know that that's who you are. And that's exactly why you're going to conquer. You don't settle. You don't wish, hope, and pray that things happen. You go and make it happen. Like myself, I got the proper support. I didn't just say like, oh, I hope one day like this is going to end. You're not going to stop your binge eating. And you know this, you're not going to stop your binge eating by just like hoping or like praying one day it's going to end. You get the support that you need because you value that. You value seeing me living my life completely free, right? Conquered binge eating, living my life, traveling, no food guilt, no urges to binge, and you want that. So you value getting support from myself, somebody who's conquered. You're like, I want to live a life similar to you. Like I want to feel that freedom. So I'm going to get the support because I want to know what you know. This is how I know you're going to conquer binge eating. It's because of who you are. And you've always known deep down, you've always known that you're that type of person who's ambitious, who's integral, who goes after what you want. And that's exactly why you are going to conquer binge eating.